Hello, and welcome to the CUP Ringside, part of the CUP Network, where we put the real in tea and reality and become those first questions first, and we give you the best seat in the house on all things wrestling. I am your girl. Yes, I am a girl, but I am your girl, Lana, your resident Eeyore diva, and I here to give tea, spill the tea, drink the tea, because now let's do some tea her, and y'all have to excuse my voice because it is gone. I don't know where it's gone, but it's gone. And it's okay. I'm gonna do my little husky, raspy voice and just make it work. But I don't I do. I wouldn't grab something to drink, just some water, because just hydration is important. And of course I always have my cup mug handy because gotta have your cup mug. Get your cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and we do ship internationally, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug or any of our cup merch. Check out that link below. Period.
I am one that thinks, just like Dirty Dom, it is better to be sloppy seconds than never to have been slopped at all. I am Topher, here to help with bringing the news and the recaps and the comical understanding of all things wrestling. And Dirty Dom, as the resident Dirty Dom expert, as to why he would choose to go slop elsewhere than to be slopped by Rhea Ripley onto the slopping of the Liv Morgan. We stand with the slop.
And hello, everybody. It is Brooke, your resident queen of the Cup Ringside. I am delighted to be back in your presence, even though I am very sick and not feeling great. I'm here anyway because, you know what? Dom made it through prison. I can make it through an episode of the podcast. But all I'm going to say is this, Topher. I feel like we're finally on the same page here, okay? You like Dom. I like Liv. I think we finally got to get along a little bit, and I think we can both agree Dom and Liv is superior to Dom and Rhea. Thank you very much. But now,
so close
to the Cup Ringside wrap up. Woohoo!
I don't know. I'm not there on that same page with y'all. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I like Dom. I like Liv. I like Rhea. So I'm kind of just like,
I do like Rhea. I watched the documentary for Damian Priest, and I gotta tell you, I think I'm a Damian Priest guy. I think Damian Priest has made it into my top 5 of active wrestlers.
I think that is a very valid take.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think he was a phenomenal world champ, even though his reign was kind of short. And I think that shows you that length doesn't always equal quality when it comes to a title reign. However, I know we're going to talk about Raw in a minute, but I'm just going to say this. They need to start booking Judgment Day or whatever they're called, Street Trash, apparently, whatever. Whatever they're being called, they need to book them better than having everyone in that group lose out to Damian or Rhea. Unacceptable. Not okay. Liv losing to Rhea? Cool. Carlito, JD McDonough, Finn Balor as a collective, and Dom getting beat by a one-man army and Damian Priest. I'm not here for that. But regardless.
Their faction is actually called the Street Trash? That's a real thing?
Allegedly, they are looking at a rebrand, and the current leading name is Street Trash.
Well,
I really think they really need to rethink.
Only one place you can put trash, and that is in the garbage.
Or on the street, apparently.
Well, the street, apparently. Let's rethink that, y'all. Please don't do that.
Just keep the name.
On to better news.
We are here talking about all of our weekly wrestling recaps. But before we jump into that, we do have business, and we need you to handle your business. And by that, I mean hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell, so you won't miss any time we put a video up about anything that we decide to put a video up about. And it's pretty much going to be about wrestling if you're on this channel. So if you're a wrestling fan, you need to hit the subscribe button here. You need to follow us on all of our other pages if you like all of our other channels, because we are a network. So go hit our link tree, get all the links to our YouTube channels, and click like, subscribe, do all the things, follow. And also, you can follow our audio podcast links because those will be in the description below as well. And our Patreon is down there as well. So join our Patreon and do all the things so you can support us. We appreciate you. So there we go. Now, jumping into our weekly wrestling wrap up. Let's get into it.
So, y'all, our prayers have finally been answered, right?
Um,
We've been wanting a mid-card championship for the women for a long time.
get out of here. Get out of here.
And
Absolutely
of
not.
course, we have the Speed Championship. Everyone is so happy, right?
Absolutely not.
Who
Absolutely
is the
not.
current men's speed champion?
Andrade.
How often does Andrade defend it?
Once every 2 weeks, typically.
Oh.
3 weeks. 3 weeks or so. Like
You know,
once a
Who
month.
is actually watching the freaking speed thing on Twitter?
I saw.
I never catch it.
There was
I
what
never
is it?
see it.
I liked it when it was like the high flyers. It was like really quick, cool stunt stuff. And then I saw Ivar on there. Ivar competing against somebody. I don't know.
Not too much on Ivar, but
He can get up. He can
he
get
can
up
go.
when he want to.
I feel like everyone forgets that Ivar can move, and then he does
He
that back handspring
can.
elbow in some of his matches, and people are like, "Oh my god, Ivar can actually move," and then we forget again. But
I never forget because watched Ivar on NXT when he was doing his thing over there, and I saw him when his partner got hurt and I said that big boy can move. I enjoy seeing him fly. I didn't forget, so I wasn't that mad to see. But here's my thing. I would love to see Ivar fly on Speed Champions and see the speed matches happen. I just never see them. And I'm on Twitter every day. And they say it happens every Wednesday. I'm on Twitter on every Wednesday and I never see it. Like, where am I supposed? I'm supposed to go look for this now? Like,
maybe.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe you need to get on X then.
I'm on X. On Twitter.
Topher, how dare you?
How dare you? Twitter. It will always be Twitter.
For me though, I catch it because they pin the video to the top for like a few days. It's pinned to the top of their Twitter, so I just like go at like 4 or 5 whenever I get off work, and I'm just like, oh, okay, new speed, and I just watch then. But like, I will say this: is it at least giving some of the women something to do? Yes.
Sure.
As sad as it is that it is just on Twitter, and it's not exactly what we want for a lot of these women, or honestly any of these women. They're getting booked. There is another prize for the women to fight for. Those are all good things. But
they know better than this. They know that is not what we asked for. That is when we said give a mid card to the women. This is not what we asked for.
This isn't even mid card. This is off.
No,
card.
this isn't off TV. They're not.
This is not even on the card. This is the match that you miss because you're busy getting your popcorn at the concession stand.
Well, the crazy thing is it's all pre-taped. So like if you just look for the pre-taped stuff, you just know who lost and you know who won and you have no incentive to watch. But the bigger difference is it's at least with like SmackDown and stuff. It's like a 2-hour show and like angles can develop. All these really are just matches, right? There's no storylines. The only storyline that's even happened connected to it was when Axiom and Nathan Frazier were doing their stuff on NXT, and they've both like been ditching their tag title matches to go do speed stuff. But like, other than that, there has been no connection to speed at all in mainline programming. Like you said, Andrade doesn't even get to carry the belt on TV.
Yeah.
So like, what I'm hearing is they're trying to draw in the AEW fans.
What I'm hearing is they're lazy. I hear they're lazy and they don't really want to give women a mid card match belt because
it's a test.
The first thing you do is you give a speed. You can't even say, okay, let's test out a hardcore, like 24/7 championship. Like I would have rather saw that, a women's 24/7 championship. At least that's on TV. At least it's entertaining. At least we can see them running around trying to catch each other. I know it's stupid, but at least it's on TV. Andrade has a belt that he can't carry on TV.
I vividly remember whenever the 24/7 title was like wrapping up and they were like moving on from that. I remember, I think it was Dana Brooke was like heavily involved in the scene for that belt at the time. and she requested specifically that they let, instead of getting rid of the belt, they just turn it into a women's mid card title and just let it transition into that. I would have loved that. I get why they didn't do
Absolutely.
it because then the lineage gets a little weird, but like I feel like retiring that belt left an opportunity for something else, because if you look at NXT
Wait,
Women's North American Championship, Kalani Jordan, she's been
Kalani's
champ for like
killing
two
it.
and a half months. She's doing great.
She's
what are
So
they
doing
like,
retiring?
good. Kalani Jordan.
No.
Amazing.
Which championship are they retiring?
when they retired the 24/7 title, Dana Brooke put on Twitter that she wanted to turn it into a women's mid card championship instead of retiring the belt,
Yeah.
and then they just didn't do that. Um, which is unfortunate, especially considering, like Dana not even with the company anymore. Yeah, she's in TNA. Uh, but I hope that this is one of those rare times where this actually leads to more opportunities, and it isn't just WWE's way of saying, "Yeah, we'll give you more opportunities, but not really." You know, um,
Here, shut up. Here's the
Well,
pretty
belt.
much.
That's what they
I
say.
mean,
Here,
hey, it
shut up.
is more opportunities. Who knows? Maybe it'll catch fire. Speed is addictive, so perhaps people will watch.
Yeah, I will say the tournament does start on September 4th. So none of the people have been announced for it yet. This is pretty fresh-ish news. This got announced last week. But let's hope and pray that the women that do get on the show actually take their time and use their time and have the ability to showcase what they have.
Mm-hmm.
I think Isla Dawn is going to be the winner of the first speed championship.
I pray that they do not put the tag champs in this bracket. Like, beyond hope, I pray. They probably will, but let Mia Yim win this belt. I would love that.
Right. I would
Yeah.
love Mishin to get that. I would love
Yeah,
her.
it's time.
It's time somebody put a belt on her. But whatever.
Completely unrelated to present conversation outside of
Mm-hmm.
involving Mia Yim. She put on Twitter, I think yesterday, she tweeted at Shotzi and said whenever she comes back, she wants to go for the tag belts with her. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that'd be cute.
something. So
That'd be awesome. I wouldn't mind that. But
Mm.
I guess we'll jump into SmackDown right now, or are we doing more news? We got more news.
SmackDown.
All right, SmackDown it is. Because you know what? This SmackDown wasn't a complete disappointment. Like, it was one of the better halves of a SmackDown that we've had in a few weeks. It definitely did. I wasn't expecting the um the main event to be the main event, but you know what? It was fine. It was fine. It was fine. Um, so we start off with Cody, of course, because Cody comes out. And Cody is like, um, he was like, what happened at SummerSlam? He didn't realize, what was going on, but he just knew now he needed to focus and, turn the page from what that was. And he needs to think about his next challenger at Bash of Berlin. And before he can even go on to that, that's when Solo's music hits. He comes out with Tamatonga and Tangaloa. They come out and Solo is like, this wouldn't have happened if it was Rome. It wasn't for Roman's fault. Blah blah blah. Of course. And so they were about to like go after Cody, but of course Kevin Owens shows up, stops all that. They move on. Cody finally says, I feel like I know who I want my next challenger to be for Bash of Berlin. And we know it. They know it. Everybody knows it. Kevin, is you. And Kevin says, no, no, I don't deserve it. And Cody was like, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't deserve it? You deserve everything. You've had my back. You've been there for me. You fought with me. You rode with me. And so I feel like it's your time. I'm offering you this championship. And Kevin says, no, no, I don't. I don't think so. I don't deserve it. It's not happening. And Cody was like, you know what? Doesn't matter what you say, because it's gonna happen. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out this ring, I'm gonna walk back to Nick Aldis, and we go make it happen, and you go get it. And Kevin was like, no, no. And so everybody's like, what the heck are you saying no to a championship for? Kevin Owens, like, why no? And I'm like, I mean, sure, I get it. They're friends. You don't want to really fight your friend, I guess. And two faces going against each other. I'm not that interested in a Kevin Owens Cody Rhodes match yet. But
I am so here for this
I was about to
personally.
say, but
Yeah.
things can change in the
Who
end
here
for
thinks
me.
Kevin Owens is turning heel at Bash at Berlin?
I think
Absolutely,
he's turning
absolutely.
heel before Bash at Berlin.
I
There's
believe
no
it's
way. Kevin Owens is a much better bad guy than good guy, and I think that I don't know. First off, the storyline is a little silly that Kevin Owens is like, no, I don't want to challenge for the
right.
championship,
No,
But then we know he's going to, and I think that Kevin's going to turn on Cody sooner, and I think that it's going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it.
Personally, for me, I think the idea of him turning at Bash is more interesting to me, right? Because it gives Cody something to do for 2 pay-per-views instead of just 1, which is nice. Because like the idea of Kevin being like, I don't want this match, Cody. I don't want this match. I have not earned this match. I don't want it, right? And then uh Cody being like, no, I'm giving you this match. You're going to deal with it. You're going to have it. You're going to love it. And then he just goes finally, just fine, whatever. I'll agree to it. Loses the match. Cody's acting all like Cody about it.
we're
And then
still
Kevin
friends.
snaps. That's going to be booking
Gonna be so
crack to
because
me.
that is going to be take us in from Bash of Berlin into um
Bad Blood?
so what's the next one?
Bad Blood's in October.
Bad Blood
I
is
think.
October.
Yeah. Which makes sense that Kevin Owens would now have bad blood with Cody Rhodes.
We're on the same page, everybody.
And that is exactly what I'm like. I'm here for this because the first when it happened, I was like, don't really care. But then I was like, wait, think about it. Look at the big picture of it all. And I was like, you know what? No, because Kevin Owens we love Kevin Owens he's cool as a nice guy, but he's so much better as the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see nice Kevin Owens anymore. We've seen him enough. He's had people's back. I want the Kevin Owens who will step on anybody to get what he wants. And so that's the Kevin Owens who I need to see. So I'm excited about it. That same scenario, Brooke, that you just said about him turning to Bash is exactly what I was like. Yep.
Yeah.
This is what has to happen for us to care about the next step, which is Cody and Kevin and Bad Blood, because now it was going to be some real bad blood. Because, well, we'll talk about it later. Because something might be happening, even though I don't know if it's going to happen, but something could be happening that happened on Raw that's going to take Kevin Owens' friend away from him on SmackDown. I'm just saying.
Are we talking about Randall Keith?
We're talking,
The problem, though, is that this is going to play like Roman Reigns is back, and Roman Reigns is over. Like he is the good guy.
I didn't want to admit it. I did not want to come on this podcast and be like, "Oh, Roman's been gone for so long, and it's just not hitting for me." I can't lie; it's hitting pretty hard right now. Hey, I have told you for ages, Lana, when the bloodline stuff gets interesting, I am here for it. I am now at least intrigued. Okay.
All I'm going to say is that, well, I was going to get to all of that, but all I'm going to say is I told you so. I told everybody so. There was no wavering for me when it came down to the bloodline. I didn't care what happened. I always knew we were going to end up back in and get drawn back into what's going on. I'm here for it. I love it. We'll talk about. But also, so yeah, all that happens. We have a match with the Street Profits and A-Town Down. Street Profits win. Great. Love them. Should win more. BFAB got some mic time. I was like, period. Okay, girl. That's what I want to see. I need to see more of her with them interacting and getting better. I do like them.
Mhm.
Jade, Applefire. Jade wins. Then, but then they all try. Blair Davenport jumps in with them, and they all come up and they all attack Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And my girl Naomi comes back. She comes, evens the score. The big three is back on top. I can't wait to see what's going to happen because Blair had been coming for Naomi's neck in the past couple weeks, and so but Naomi had to come back and get her lick back.
Mhm.
I think we're going to see a match with the big three against those three. I think that's the match. Didn't they announce that at Bash of Berlin? I think they did.
Has
I
not been
think, so.
confirmed yet, but
No,
very
not
likely at this
confirmed.
I think
point.
it's happening
Yeah.
though. I do
Uh,
think it's happening.
if it doesn't happen, I would be stunned, honestly. And I think if it doesn't happen, then they just want to make us sad. Um, because I'm happy my big three is back together. Those are my girls. I'm happy Blair Davenport's getting some TV time.
Yes.
So there's
Yes.
that. I'm happy that Alba and Isla are actually doing something, which is great. They haven't defended the tag belts yet, but beside the point, they're doing great.
They're doing that next week. They're doing it next
Sure,
week.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they retain because I think there's more mileage in them as champs right now. I hope. I
Yeah,
pray.
somebody need to get their belts back from them.
Soon,
But we'll
but
see.
not yet. Soon, but not yet.
Sure.
I think we need Jade and Bianca to okay. Let me fantasy book a smidge real quick, okay? So they are tag champs, okay, in the Royal Rumble. They defend the belts on the Royal Rumble, and then they're both in the Rumble. Jade wins the Rumble, okay? Bianca wins the Women's Championship at Elimination Chamber, okay? From Nia, Tiffany, whoever's champ. Chelsea Green, I don't care, right? Then you go into after Elimination Chamber, Bianca and Jade are having a tag title defense against whoever. Let's say Pure Fusion Collective, because I want an excuse to use that name today. It's so bad. Lose the tag belts to them with Bianca walking out on Jade.
Ooh.
And then Jade's like, what the hell? Why are you doing this? And then Bianca beats the crap out of Jade. That's what I want.
Bianca.
Heel Bianca would be
Jade
awesome.
Cargill at WrestleMania for the WWE Women's Championship. I'm sold.
I'm sad. I'm sad.
I would be for it. I would be for it.
I will be here for that. Let's make that happen. We get a pretty deadly DIY main event, and I was like, interesting. But you know what? I like Pretty Deadly. I like DIY, so I'm kind of like, I'm glad to see Pretty Deadly getting more TV time because I feel like they deserve more TV time, and they deserve to be out as tag team. In the division more. I like Pretty Deadly. I think they're corny and fun in the best way.
If you follow them at NXT at all, right? Which I know some people here have and some people haven't. Their time in NXT was amazing. They were the same characters they are now, but they actually won. And I miss that. Because I think they would be a really great heel tag team on the SmackDown roster right now. I don't think the Bloodline should have the tag belts right now. I think it's kind of too soon. I think DIY should still have them personally, but not gonna be mad at it because I think Jacob Fatu when he comes back from injury in a few weeks, it'll be fine. But I want them to get more time, and I'm happy they're getting it a little bit. Now just let them get wins, and then we'll be good.
Right. Yeah. Because DIY did win this match, and then they're going to fight Dawkins and Ford for the number one contendership match against the Bloodline. Whatever. But this is what we all were waiting on SmackDown. Everybody was waiting all night for Roman Reigns to make his return. The one, the only, the OTC made his return, came out there, and everybody was like you said, Topher, so over. He's this is crazy though, because he said this. He prophesied it, he manifested it, he told y'all what was going to happen. He said, when I leave, y'all are going to miss me, and y'all going to be begging for me to come back. And what has happened? He left, Solo took over, people weren't happy. We want Roman chant started the week after WrestleMania, and it's like, wait a minute, what happened to the boos? Go away, Roman. We hate you. You suck. What happened to all of that? No. Now we all clamoring. We want Roman. We want Roman. And Roman comes back, and he's the biggest. It's like he never left. It's been insane. And I loved it. I loved it.
We know what they say. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, all that other stuff. But I will say this. Roman coming back for me was not necessarily about Roman being back. Personally, it was more about progressing the bloodline stuff to get it to a conclusion, right? And it has nothing to do with the fact, for me personally, right? Because Cody in the World Championship has been boring to me. I don't think that has anything to do with Roman. I think that's more to do with Cody not having any good feuds as champ so far. And some of these feuds having the potential to be good and then them just doing nothing with it, like AJ Styles. But I think if you put Roman and Solo and let them do their thing for a bit, let it cap off at a natural conclusion, and then we go into like Roman's side of the bloodline, so like Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Sammy versus like The Rock and Solo's side of the bloodline of War Games and Survivor Series. Yeah. I'm here for that. Now, would The Rock ever do War Games? I don't know.
Maybe.
But
I mean, he only has to come in for 5 minutes.
True. Right. He might not even have to do that, honestly.
Right. So Cody Rhodes should have been moved to Raw a long time ago, and just like that would have been separate him from the bloodline. But I want Roman Reigns to stay being the same character. I don't want to see Roman Reigns start, kissing babies. And
I don't want that.
Smiling and all that fun stuff. No, he needs to stay the badass that he is.
Suffering succotash.
Right? No, we don't need that.
Pile of suffering succotash.
No, we don't need that.
No.
And I don't think we're going to get that. I don't think that is the Roman we're going to get, because he even knew that was not. No, we need the same Roman where he puts himself in God mode. He does all the things. He knows he's the tribal chief. You need to acknowledge him and move on. Like, he's best when he's this, and he knows he's best when he's this. And so only thing I want from Roman is to be like, I'm gonna still be me, but I'm gonna get my crew back together, because I gotta show this punk why I may name him the successor, but it's not over till I say it's over. Like, you're the successor, but maybe not anymore. But you were named the successor, but you don't become the tribal chief until I tell you become the tribal chief. And so I needed him to put Solo back in his place and realize who the OTC is. But I don't want him kissing babies and turning into nothing. Nice Roman. We don't want that.
For me, I'm fully with you there, Topher. Personally, I think that's something that Triple H has done very well, is that everybody that has been turning pale face, whatever, for the most part, it's made sense, and the turns have felt natural, and it felt like a good progression of their characters. And I hope that if Roman is staying the face route, it is just Roman, Tribal Chief Roman now fighting bad guys instead of just Tribal Chief Roman fighting good guys. Because y'all remember when he fought Logan Paul in Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah.
That's probably the closest we've had to face Roman in a long time, right? That was probably the most enjoyable I found Roman in a long time. And I think that was because it was the same character. He's like, you're just lame. I don't like you, right?
Right.
So keep this, see where it goes. I'm at least more interested in SmackDown than I was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is the best SmackDown we've had in like 3-4 weeks. So
since the Paul Heyman attack incident, probably for me.
Well, but yes, that's SmackDown in a general.
Well, on the subject of Jacob Fatu,
so
we got Jacob Fatu, Seth Rollins, and Dakota Kai all having some injury updates at the moment. So do you want to start out with Jacob, since we're already talking about the bloodline?
Sure.
Okay, so Jacob Fatu had that injury happen at SummerSlam where he, with the table and all that stuff. So allegedly, according to sources, it is a sprain. He should be back by the end of the month. So hopefully, let's keep that cool, happy. The bloodline cannot afford to lose Jacob Fatu right now.
No, not right now.
I love me the werewolf.
Right. I am a werewolf fan. I'm a fan. I think he's my favorite one in the new bloodline. Is him.
I don't think it's even close for me. but yeah. So yeah, quick little update on Jacob Fatu. Next, Dakota Kai. I'm really sad about this one because I've seen a lot of negative discourse around this on Twitter today. She has torn her meniscus. She is going to be out for. It's not too bad actually. Only 8 to 10 weeks. Which compared to how long she was laid out with her ACL, much better.
And 8 to 10 weeks is just a general amount of time that an average WWE woman is kept off television anyway.
Damn. It just sucks to see this
Not
happen. But
lies. No lies.
no
No
lies
lies
were
detected.
told, but I wish there were.
I wish they were, but no.
And then now Seth Rollins. We saw the whole Bronson Reed stuff happen last week.
6 tsunamis.
Oh God, Bronson Reed is a made man on Raw right now. For the record, I want that talk. We're gonna talk about it later. But Seth Rollins, that was done to apparently write him off TV. He's gonna be out for an undisclosed amount of time. Apparently, he's got some stuff that's still healing or needs to be healed. We're not really sure which one. Nothing's been public yet. As someone who has said multiple times, I want Seth Rollins off my screen. I want to be clear, this is not what I meant.
No, I love
I
Seth
mean-
Rollins. He's one of
I'm
my
just
top
sick of
5.
him.
But I guess I need to remove him. He's not inactive anymore. So he's going to be out. And then can we talk real quick about Becky Lynch with her Twitter retirement announcement?
Air quotes. Big ol' air quotes. If Becky Lynch is retired, I'm going to pull a Francesca Hoagie real quick. If Becky Lynch is retired, I will eat insert rock here. Like,
Well, she probably was retired, and then Seth got injured again. And so now she has to go earn some
Somebody
bread.
got to make the money. Somebody got to
Seth
make the
gets
money.
paid either way.
They both get
Okay,
paid
but
either
the
way.
downside guarantee is pennies on the dollar compared to what they make when they're selling out merch stands.
I'm about to say, they both
Actually, I
get
don't think
paid
they
either
make
way.
that, I don't think they make that much anymore incentive-wise as they used to.
Regardless of anything for that, if Becky does come back, cool. Don't put her in the whole Rhea Liv stuff, and we're good.
Yeah,
No problems for me. Just keep her elsewhere. Because this feud doesn't need her, right?
No, it does not.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's your injury roundup. Is it time for some contract roundup?
Yeah, let's talk about contracts.
Contracts.
Okay, so do we want to talk
Contract
about
roundup.
the re-signing, the offers, or the rumors?
Let's start with the rumors.
Yeah, let's give us
And then
Okay.
we do the re-signing. And then
Okay,
that boy.
so from AEW, it has been confirmed that Rey Fenix and Pento El Zero Miedo have both not re-signed with AEW as of right now. They have basically pulled out of contract negotiations with AEW as of present. They are heavily rumored to be signing with WWE. However, I believe that was contingent on not being sent to NXT, and they just want to go straight to the main roster. If that is the case, the tag division on Raw or SmackDown, wherever they go, is about to be blessed. These are some of the best workers that have been in AEW, period. These two are incredible. They are top dollar pickups for WWE. This is like A tier, A plus, S tier talent here. Both these guys were huge when Lucha Underground was a thing. They have been AEW tag champs multiple times. They have been trios champions with Pac, aka Neville, and a stable called Death Triangle. They are incredible talents. And if they are getting signed to WWE, the tag division is about to go up like a huge amount. They're insane. So we'll see if that's true. Are either one of you familiar with either of them?
Nope.
I'm not surprised.
But
Wes
I
would be
love new
freaking out,
talent
by the
coming
way.
from AEW.
Wes would be freaking out because these are two of his favorite wrestlers, period, much less AEW talent. So Wes would be freaking out. But I'm really happy about this. I think this is a really huge pickup for WWE if it does happen.
Yeah.
So re-signing next,
Resign.
we have re-signed a certain Viper. Randy Orton has re-signed with WWE for an undisclosed amount of time. But good. Awesome.
I think he not
Never
just
thought
have
he would leave, but
Yeah, doesn't he just have an infinite like Legends contract situation going on?
he might as well, honestly. Like, here's my thing. I will
course
never
he
complain about
does.
Randy Orton being on my screen. So,
Of course, he is the legend killer. Is the legend, and so now he has the Legends contract. So
Right.
he stays till he decides he's ready to go.
I am looking very much so forward to seeing the Legend. We'll get to it in a minute, but seeing
Yeah.
the Legend Killer and Gunther go head to head.
again, happened a few months ago, and I cannot wait to see it happen again because that match was awesome. So finally, perhaps the one that is still the most up in the air, Daniel Garcia, also from AEW. He has been with AEW basically since they started. Huge name over there, former AEW tag champ with the former Big Cass. His name is now Big Bill in AEW. He has been it's been one of those things where it's like, oh, why are they not booking him better? And the fans are really big fans of him. But they haven't really done anything with him in a while. He hasn't been champ in almost a year. So what is now happening, allegedly, is that AEW and WWE have both put out contract offers for him. Has not signed with either, and apparently it is a very tight race financially. I can also confirm he is very good friends with Cody Rhodes. So we will see if that has any effect on this contract signing. Personally, I think Daniel Garcia just fits WWE better. He's very much like an entertainment gimmick, less of a traditional wrestler gimmick. Like he dances in the ring, that kind of thing. So if he were to go to WWE, I think he would definitely be used better than he currently is in AEW. But I will say, if he stays in AEW, don't be surprised either.
Well, if he wants to become a real star, then WWE is the place to make that happen. If he wants to make real money and sit on his ass and not do anything, then AEW is the place to make that happen.
So we should also mention, we do know that the time period for one Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan, is coming to a close. He is basically said he has no interest in. He is retiring. He is done. He is done. So we'll see if he comes back to WWE for some on-camera time in the future. Like we just saw Mark Henry on Raw. We saw Candice Michelle on Raw.
They all come
was
home.
In the background on Raw. Rainy Rodriguez was randomly on Raw. So the Raw had a lot of people this week. But we'll see if Daniel comes back at any point for like a Hall of Fame induction. I feel like that's the only way we'll see him in the near future. But he has had an incredible career, so congrats to him on, finally putting the boots away for real season this time. So that is your contract updates, everybody. I think this was a very solid edition. Lots of good news, big news. Any big thoughts coming out of this?
Randy Orton is going to be here until Randy Orton doesn't want to be here anymore. That's all I care about, honestly.
And Randy Orton is going to prove. See, Randy Orton, you know what I love about him is that he, and I say this with like the most sincerity, just is so good whilst also not giving a flying fuck. You know what I mean? Like he just is so effortless, and like you can tell like he cares and then doesn't care at the same time. And I am so excited for this match with Gunther because I think he is going to remind everybody why he is the locker room leader. He is the best that there ever has been. Forget Bret Hart. Sorry, Randy Orton is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be when it comes to in-ring performance.
Is Randy your GOAT?
Yeah, he really is.
Wow.
I think so because he's still like when are you 20 years? He's hardly taken time off of like I don't think he's ever missed more than a year ever. He competes at the highest level. His matches are very good. He's put over some of the worst, not to hinder the gender, but like,
Hey.
He's always willing to do the job for the betterment of another superstar in the company. He's very, for somebody that was very selfish in his early career, has become very selfless. And, he's like, when Randy Orton wants to put on a 5-star match, he's about to.
Let's go Rob Van Dam. So, yeah, I'm excited that
Rob Van Dam wasn't. I don't know. They had no chemistry.
Well, you said 5-star. That's where.
5-star Frog Splash. Yes.
But regardless, I'm happy Randy's sticking around. I hope that these Penta and Phoenix rumors are true. Penta was at a show in Mexico, and he did say goodbye to the fans this week, which is usually a pretty solid indicator. So please, dear Lord, let this be true, because dear Lord, the SmackDown Tag Division needs it. But regardless of anything, that's your contract news. And I think, speaking of Raw, it is time to get into Raw, everybody.
Absolutely.
Yay, Monday Night Raw. Well, who wants to do the opening segment this week?
Was that the Dirty Dom? See, I don't know what order they air in because I watch them on TikTok.
Valid. Right. Well, I'll get this handled then.
I'm about to say I could talk about the beginning because I definitely saw the beginning. But
we get this
go
opening.
ahead,
we get this opening segment with This like Judgment Day vignette, pretty cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I was here for it. Then we get Rhea Ripley and Liv and Dom are now in the crowd, cutting a promo back and forth. Rhea, I'll be honest, not the best mic work from young Dirty Dom here. I think it was kind of okay. Rhea and Liv were fantastic in this segment.
Yeah.
I think Dom was just kind of fine. I don't think he's really settled into this role yet, but I think he's getting there, and I hope he settles into it quickly. Because like 2 weeks ago when he cut that promo on Liv, it was awesome. So we'll see if that changes. We then get Damian Priest come back and beats up Dom in the crowd, and Rhea chases Liv up the ramp and all this other fun stuff. We then get Damian Priest versus Carlito. Priest wins. Duh. And then we get the one-sided beatdown of the Judgment Day by Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Did not care for that, I'll be honest. I think that was like my least favorite part of this whole segment. I think that Rhea beating up Liv is fine. I think it has been portrayed that they are around each other's level at this point. I think if you were going to have a mob of 4 guys be there, especially considering one of them is a former world champion, the other is a tag champ, Carlito's won many belts, and Dom is like the centerpiece of this feud at the moment. I feel like they need to portray them a little bit stronger than they are, and they cannot just have all 4 of them lose in a 1-on-4 fight to Damian Priest. It just doesn't work like that. But yeah, I still think it was pretty solid, all things considered. We then get a nice little segment from the White Six, another VHS from them. Cool stuff all the way around. Again, these guys are awesome. I'm here for it. And I hope and pray to God they have moved on from American Made, because I don't think they need each other. So we then get Odyssey Jones coming out. Also, I wasn't on last week. Odyssey Jones debut. I've lost my mind. I popped so hard.
He's a
Odyssey
big
Jones basically squashing up a guy from the Performance Center. Nothing of note here. We're getting a Teddy Long match next week. The 6-man tag. A tag team match player.
Can we talk about the Odyssey Jones of it all first? Because I do want to. We didn't have we didn't have a show last week, so because a lot of stuff happened. But I like Odyssey Jones. I like having Odyssey Jones come in and be there with the New Day. I appreciate this, and I like to see it. But I'm nervous because I feel like this is going to be the thing that they are going to use to break up the New Day, and it's going to piss me off. It's going to piss me off to the highest level of passivity, because I don't want the New Day to break up, because I want the New Day, I don't care how old and how long they be together and how stale people might say they might get. The New Day is so much more than just a faction in the WWE to me personally. I don't want to see the New Day break up, because the reason they came together is because of the 3 people who felt like they were being pushed aside and not being able to, and we don't have a lot of Black fashions that stay together for a very long period of time, and I wanted that for the New Day. I don't want Odyssey to be the reason they break up. I want Odyssey to come in and be the reason they stay together. Like, let's continue to grow the New Day. Let's continue to do what we do. I know we love Big E. I love Big E too. But if Big E ain't coming back, we need the 3rd. I want my New Day to stay together, and I don't want them to break up because they want to bring Odyssey Jones in. And I don't think that's fair to Odyssey Jones as a performer either, to have him come in and then they're like, oh, okay, he's gonna be the reason they break up. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay, all I'm going to say is this. No matter what happens, either New Day staying together, yay. Xavier Wood heel turn will hit like crack, yay. No matter what happens here, I am invested, right? As you all that have talked to me about this before, Xavier Woods has been my favorite New Day member pretty much from the jump. I love the guy, big fan of his. And I have felt like some of the things that, I'll be honest, most of the things that Karrion Kross has said are true. Right. And I think that's the shitty part, is that it's not that he's just manipulating the situation to make it look this way. He's kind of right, and I think that's the problem. if Xavier does turn heel here, I feel like they need to wait longer. But like, I think this is definitely a tough call no matter what happens. I think that they're both incredible. Like this whole thing is incredible no matter where it goes. I know people are like, "Oh, this feud's been going on forever." It's really not, and I think we're coming to the end of it anyways. So hopefully, we're either going to get Xavier Woods turning on Kofi Kingston and having a heel run that I have been dying for ages, or and not Xavier Woods having a heel run, but Xavier Woods having a solo run, or we're going to get more New Day, and I cannot complain about more New Day because I love the whole thing. So no matter what happens, I'm into it.
Look, the New Day has been stale ever since Big E got injured, and we all know it. They were hot. They were peak hot, but the New Day is not the New Day without Big E. As much as I love it, yes, Kofi as an individual is great. Xavier as an individual is great, but New Day is New Day. I do not want Odyssey Jones to be diluted by being not Big E. That's problematic to me. You know what I mean? Not problematic in like a problematic sense, but like that's unfortunate, and it will dilute Odyssey Jones. But an Xavier Woods heel turn, I think, is going to be the hottest thing since sliced bread. And I think that Xavier Woods, this will be what propels Xavier Woods to the main event level because he's capable, he deserves it, and I think he's a more natural heel than good guy.
I don't know if I go that far in that last statement, but I think everything else you just said I agree with. I think Xavier Woods is probably one of the most versatile performers in the company.
Yeah, he's definitely versatile. We've seen the videos.
Yeah, he's... Topher, you can't just say that.
You just stop it right now.
Rated R. Like
just stop it right now. Stop it right now. We will not do Mr. Xavier Woods that way on this here podcast. We're not gonna do that here.
That was so good, Topher. I can't even be mad.
Oh, I can't.
Oh my God.
So anyway, Raw talk.
Regardless.
See? That even makes it worse.
Okay.
Moving
on
from championship
moving on, please, dear Lord, can we move on?
Yes.
So
Randy Orton and go ahead.
We get American Made versus Alpha Academy. A very standard tag match. The actual match was not the point of interest here. It is Ivy Nile turning heel and joining American Made. Was there ever really any doubt? Not really. But
thought it would be Otis.
Really?
He's wearing a shirt that says "Free Otis."
I don't know, but I think Ivy turning heel was definitely the right call. Personally, I think she is a much better heel than she is a face, and I think this new faction is going to be real good, and I'm really excited for it. So yeah, American Made run through with a win here, quick little distraction win here. We then get Damage Control, specifically Io and Kyrie, versus Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler of the newly named Pure Fusion Collective. It is quite possibly one of the worst names for a stable I've heard in a long time. But no contest here. DQ, yada, yada, yada. Cool stuff. We then get Randy Orton and Gunther doing their stuff. We get Drew McIntyre coming out with the music. Sorry, the music comes out, and then he comes out, and then, all that stuff. Punk and McIntyre are still fighting. I'm just, can we please move on? I know other people are still into this, namely Topher. I'm just not. I'm bored. I want these two to do other things. It's been going on for, 8 months. Move on. And now Orton and Gunther are feuding. That's good. I like that. We then get the Bronson Reed massacre of The Miz. Basically a repeat of what happened to Seth Rollins, only significantly more fun for me. Significantly less fun for me. And then, of course, we get the main event, the 2 out of 3 falls match between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Perfect way to close out this feud. I think this was probably the best match these two have had in their series. And I do like that Sami did get a fall here and he didn't just look like a chump. I think that is really important. And I think it also keeps Braun at a level where he's not an unbeatable monster IC champ yet, but he's also not weak. I think it keeps them both protected. I think it looks good. And I'm really happy that Braun won. I think it was the right call, obviously, because he just won the belt. So yeah, that was Monday Night Raw this week. on the whole, good episode. I honestly think I enjoyed SmackDown a little bit more, which is not a sentence I have said in a hot minute. But
I
I
would.
I think
Go ahead.
the biggest the biggest takeaway is that I think Bash in Berlin is shaping up to be a really good card that I'm very excited for, and I love a good Saturday afternoon pay per view. So
that part.
Absolutely. I love that. I love waking up, watching at 12 and being done by 4. Great. Uh, um, but yeah, that's raw.
Mhm.
That's raw. So in other news and sadder news, though, we're going to move on from Raw. Um, we have the WWE and the wrestling world. We have lost a member of I don't know what I'm trying to say. My brain is going here.
Kevin Sullivan,
Yeah.
formerly the Taskmaster in WCW, also wrestled under his actual name, but Kevin Sullivan has passed away. I believe he was in his 70s. Um, so it's not like it was a shock death of anything crazy magnitude. It wasn't like a crazy circumstance, but it's still not obviously not a good thing. Um,
it was still
and
sudden. He's been podcast. He has the Tuesdays with the Taskmaster podcast. It's a very it's very sudden, but still old, so expected.
so I just want to go ahead and ask, Lana, you grew up in the 90s with WCW, so I'm assuming you're at least, you watched Kevin Sullivan back in the day.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I grew up after that time period, but I was raised in a household that was a WCW household, so I got like drip fed Kevin Sullivan stuff as I was younger. Topher, I don't know if you were a WCW kid at all, but
I was a WWE guy, but I've a lot of respect and appreciation for WCW, and I was watching wrestling during the time of WCW, and I've gone back and rewatched WCW.
Mhm.
So I mean, to me, Kevin Sullivan is probably one of the top 10 most influential figures in wrestling that helped shape wrestling to what it is today.
Mhm. I think I'd agree, especially considering he was the heel, right?
Yeah.
He was and I don't mean that as in he was always at the top of the card, because honestly, a lot of the time he wasn't.
He was
But I
very
think
mid card.
he really made you believe he was a
Mm-hmm.
bad guy. And I think in this day and age, especially, that's kind of like a dead art.
Mhm.
There are very few people I feel like that have that ability to be that like just jerk 24/7, always a bad guy, never a good guy. Uh, and I really do think Kevin Sullivan is probably the last main dude that did that, at least in recent years. I mean, there have been some people like MJF is getting closer to that, but like Kevin Sullivan really did define an era of heels in pro wrestling. So very, I mean, honestly, like I mentioned, it's not something that was like supremely shocking, but it's still not something that you want to hear. Um, I hope, I mean, obviously condolences to his family, first off,
Mm-hmm.
fans and family. And the wrestling world will not be the same without him in it. I think it's definitely, it feels a little bit weird, like it feels different now.
And he was really, with the exception of your main events for WCW, which was mostly booked by Bischoff, he really was the pen. He was the man behind the pen. Brian Pillman with the famous "I respect you, Booker Man" promo that Kevin Sullivan basically booked all of WCW during that time. The good stuff, not the bad.
Um, well, and I mean, I don't know if anyone saw, but Lexus King tweeted that out sometime in the past few days. I'm not exactly sure when, but pretty soon after his passing had been announced. I hope that everything is okay with his friends and family. I mean, obviously, it's never something you want to hear, but condolences there. Yeah, wrestling just feels a little weird now, a little bit off. It's kind of hard to explain how that feels, especially for a guy that's been retired for so long.
Right.
But he just doesn't feel the same.
He was definitely someone who, in front of the camera, behind the camera, was somebody you just respected as for somebody who knew what they were talking about, knew what they were doing in the ring, knew what they were doing out of the ring. And so, yeah, Kevin Sullivan is someone who will be missed. And yeah, condolences to his friends and family and thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely.
But that it's going to do it here for the Ringside Weekly wrap up. We appreciate you all for checking us out, and we hope you got some good information. And we will be back next week to talk more wrestling and more news and all kind of things for you. So subscribe to this channel before on your way out. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Also, we will be talking about Bash at the. See, I was about to say it, Bash at Berlin. I was about to say Bash. I was about to say at the beach. I was about to
Timberland.
say it, but Bash in Berlin. And we'll be talking about that coming up very soon as well as our weekly wrap ups. So check that out. Follow all of our other channels. All those links will be in the description below. You can follow us on our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow our join our audio podcast and listen to us on the go as well. And you could join our Patreon so you can check us out and get early access to shows that we put out all across all four channels and exclusive content that we put out across all four channels. So check all of that out. Get your cup merch, period, always at lanagcreations.etsy.com. You can follow the three of us if you want. You see those socials, they're down there. We talk from time to time about stuff. So check us out, get the stuff, get the merch, and yeah, we go get out of here because we ain't got nothing else to say. So
Cheers.
cheers, y'all. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Pew, 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 pew.
Oh yeah, LA Knight won the U.S. title. That's awesome.
Oh, that happened too.
That happened
Yeah,
too.
he celebrated it too. Mhm.
Yeah.